Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Sadia Education Wali. I'm student at Rehan College Korangi Campus. Currently, I'm enrolled in Teacher Training Bootcamp 1. Today, we will talk with ChatGPT. So, let's start. Okay, hello ChatGPT. My name is Sadia Education Wali. Today our topic is productivity procrastination.
Hi, Sadia. That sounds like a great topic. There's definitely a lot to unpack with both productivity and procrastination. What's
Okay, ChatGPT. So my first question is, what is procrastination and why do people procrastinate?
Yeah, great starting point. So, procrastination is basically when we delay or put off tasks, even though we know we should be doing them. And people procrastinate for a bunch of reasons. Sometimes it's due to fear of failure, sometimes it's because a task feels too overwhelming, or sometimes we just don't feel motivated or we're distracted by something else.
Okay, thank you so much. So my next question is, what are the most common causes of procrastination?
Yeah, absolutely. So, some of the most common causes are things like fear of failure, perfectionism, like wanting everything to be perfect before starting, feeling overwhelmed by a big task, a lack of interest in the task itself, or sometimes just poor time management or decision fatigue.
Okay, so how can someone recognize that they have a procrastination habit?
Yeah, that's a big step. Often they might notice they keep avoiding certain tasks or constantly feel anxious about deadlines. They might also recognize they get easily distracted by things like social media or just have a pattern of delaying things until the last minute.
Okay, so what is the difference between procrastination and simply taking a break?
Ah, that's a great distinction. So, taking a break is intentional and usually refreshing. It's a short pause that helps you recharge. Procrastination, though, is more of a chronic delay. It's often a way of avoiding tasks and it tends to cause stress rather than relieve it. So, the intention and the outcome are really different.
Okay, ChatGPT. So, how does procrastination affect productivity and success?
Yeah, it can have a pretty big impact. When we procrastinate, we often miss deadlines, the quality of our work can suffer, and we feel more stressed. Over time, it can really slow down progress toward goals and even affect long term success. So, it's a pretty sneaky productivity killer.
Okay, ChatGPT. So, can procrastination impact mental health and how?
Yeah, definitely. So when we procrastinate, it can create a cycle of guilt, anxiety, and low self esteem. We know we're delaying things, and that stress builds up. Over time, it can even contribute to things like depression or burnout. So it's really important to catch those patterns early and be kind to yourself.
Okay, so how can setting clear goals help reduce procrastination?
Yeah, that's a big one. When goals are really clear, they give you a sense of direction and purpose. You know exactly what you need to do, and they break down big tasks into manageable steps. So you don't feel overwhelmed, and you're much more likely to take action.
ChatGPT, what are simple daily habits that can prevent procrastination?
Oh, absolutely. Simple habits like setting a daily to do list, using the 2 minute rule where you start tasks that take 2 minutes or less right away, breaking tasks into smaller chunks, and scheduling specific times for focused work. Those can all help you stay on track and keep procrastination at bay.
Okay, so what does time management help overcome procrastination?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so time management helps a ton because it lets you allocate specific blocks for tasks so you don't have to keep deciding what to do next. When you have a plan, you reduce that procrastination trigger of uncertainty or feeling lost, and you build momentum as you stick to a schedule.
Okay, what is the 2 minute rule and how does it work?
Yeah, so the 2 minute rule is really simple. If a task takes 2 minutes or less, you do it right away. The idea, exactly. And it works because it's so quick, so it gives you that immediate sense of accomplishment. Once you get those small wins, it kind of builds momentum, making it easier to tackle bigger tasks after that.
Okay, so GPT, how can breaking a large task into smaller steps but is easier to start?
Yeah, that's a big help because when a task feels huge, we often just avoid it. But when you break it down into tiny, doable steps, each one feels manageable. So you get that initial small win, and once you've started, it's easier to keep going.
Okay, so why is it important to avoid perfectionism and when completing tasks?
Yeah. So perfectionism can be a real trap because it keeps you stuck in an endless loop of revising and never finishing. When you focus on completion first, you get the task done and you can always improve later. That way you make progress and build momentum instead of staying stuck.
Okay, ChatGPT. So, how can creating a daily schedule help people stay focused?
Yeah, definitely. When you have a daily schedule, it gives you a clear roadmap of what you need to do and when. It reduces decision fatigue and helps you stay on track because every task has a set time. So you stay focused and you get a better sense of accomplishment as you tick things off.
Okay, so what roles does self discipline play in overcoming procrastination?
Yeah, self discipline is really key because it's what keeps you moving forward even when you don't feel like it. It's like a muscle. You build it by making small commitments and sticking to them. And over time, it helps you push through those initial resistances and get the work done.
Okay, so my next question is how can eliminating and distractions improve concentrations?
Yeah, that's a big one. So, when you eliminate distractions like turning off notifications, setting your phone aside, or having a dedicated workspace, you free up mental energy to focus fully on the task at hand. It really helps you stay in that deep work zone so your concentration stays sharp.
Okay, ChatGPT, how does a positive mindset help in overcoming procrastination?
Yeah, a positive mindset is super helpful because it shifts how you view the task. Instead of seeing it as a threat or something overwhelming, you see it as a challenge you can tackle.
Okay, so how does a positive mindset help in overcoming procrastination?
Yeah, exactly. When you have a positive mindset, you're less likely to. Right. So, no problem. So, yeah, with a positive mindset, you view setbacks as temporary and you believe in your ability to improve. Exactly. And it also makes you more resilient. You can bounce back from little mistakes, and that keeps you motivated to keep going instead of giving up.
Okay, ChatGPT, so what role does accountability play in staying consistent?
Yeah, accountability is huge because when you know someone else is counting on you, whether it's a friend, a coach, or even just a scheduled check in, you're more likely to stay on track. It adds a layer of responsibility, which keeps you consistent over time.
Okay, so how can student avoid procrastination while studying?
Yeah, great question. Students can avoid procrastination by setting specific study times, breaking material into smaller sections, and using techniques like the Pomodoro method, so short, focused bursts with breaks. Also, keeping a distraction free environment and rewarding themselves after study sessions can keep them motivated and on track.
Okay, so how can technology be used to reduce procrastination instead of causing it?
Yeah, that's a great point. Technology can actually help a lot. Things like using focus apps that block social media, setting reminders for tasks, or using productivity tools like calendars or to do apps. When used intentionally, tech can keep you organized and on task instead of being a distraction.
Okay, so what are the biggest mistake people make when trying to stop procrastinating?
Yeah, one of the biggest mistakes is trying to tackle everything at once, so they get overwhelmed and then freeze up. Another common one is setting vague goals, like just saying, I'll do it later, instead of having a specific plan. So, clarity and small steps are really key.
Okay, ChatGPT. So, if you could recommended only three strategies to beat procrastination, what would they be?
Yeah, for sure. I'd say first, set super clear, achievable goals. Second, use a daily schedule or time block so you know exactly what you're doing. And third, practice the 2 minute rule. Just get started on small tasks right away.
Okay, ChatGPT. What is the most important lesson you have learned about the overcoming procrastination?
Yeah, I think the biggest lesson is that progress doesn't have to be perfect or instant. Exactly. Just starting, even in a small way, breaks that cycle. And once you get going, it builds momentum. So you realize progress is really about consistency, not just waiting for the perfect moment.
Okay, ChatGPT. My last question is: what is your final advice for anyone who wants to stop procrastinating and achieve their goals?
Yeah, I would say be kind to yourself and focus on small steps. Build a routine, celebrate those little wins, and remember that progress is a journey. Just keep showing up, even if it's imperfect, and you'll get there.
Okay, thank you so much, ChatGPT, for sharing your valuable insight. And Allah Hafiz.
You're so welcome. I'm really glad I could help. Take care and Allah Hafiz.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening me. Allah Hafiz.